Logging into apps like Club GG, Poker Bros, or PokerShip drops you straight into a digital labyrinth. You are instantly hit with hundreds of private club options, all competing for your bankroll. The immediate temptation is to spend hours testing out different rooms, hoping to strike gold and find that one flawless, all-encompassing poker lobby where you can park your funds forever. But searching for a universal room is a trap. The modern private club market is heavily fragmented, and these clubs are strictly purpose-built to cater to specific, narrow playing styles. Every club architecture forces you to accept a central trade-off. You must choose between massive table liquidity, meaning high volume, and deep specialization in either high-stakes or niche games. This blank decision tree represents a scenario match evaluation framework. To find a profitable environment, you have to segment your own playstyle and bankroll before you ever decide to join a club. The first critical variable is your stake ceiling. You need to identify whether you are grinding micro and low stakes or if your bankroll requires high stakes action. The next variables are game variety and action schedules. You must decide if you are a strict NLH purist or if you need PLO and niche variations. NLH stands for No Limit Hold'em, and PLO is Pot Limit Omaha, a variant where players receive 4 or more whole cards. You also have to choose between games that run 24/7 and those constrained to fixed schedules. Finding a profitable game means mapping your personal constraints directly to a club's structural trade-offs. We can break this ecosystem down into 3 primary player profiles. The first profile is the volume grinder. This player prioritizes constant 24/7 table availability, high liquidity, and manageable swings. For this profile, the baseline stakes typically range from 50-cent $1 blinds up to 5 $10 tables. Looking at our decision tree, isolating the volume grinder path leads straight to a club called Monkeys Massiv. The operational outcome of choosing Monkeys Massiv is pure table volume. Players can heavily multi-table, with access to over 200 active tables running simultaneously during peak hours. The major trade-off here is a strict ceiling on stakes. If you go on a massive winning streak, you have zero upward bankroll mobility without leaving the club entirely. Clubs like Monkeys Paradise and Monkeys Micros serve as alternative low- and mid-stakes environments. These alternatives provide highly consistent, round-the-clock liquidity. Monkeys Paradise, for example, is heavily active during European prime hours, making it incredibly convenient for players in those time zones. The distinct trade-off of these grinder-heavy rooms is the high density of regular players. Because the action is so consistent, you will encounter fewer purely recreational wild tables compared to independent rooms. This dynamic is driven by union affiliation. A union is a network of multiple independent clubs that pool their players together to increase overall traffic. The larger the union, the higher the baseline player pool, which naturally attracts a higher volume of serious multi-tablers. For the volume grinder, sheer table count guarantees steady action, but inherently caps your maximum single-game profitability and limits your exposure to recreational whales. On the exact opposite end of the spectrum is the high roller profile. This profile requires deep bankrolls, high stakes starting at $10, $20 blinds and above, and a preference for aggressive, high-variance games. Shifting our focus on the decision tree to the high roller path, the optimal route highlights a node labeled Monkeys HR. Choosing Monkeys HR grants exclusive access to premium 10/20 and 25/50 tables across no-limit and pot-limit formats. The mandatory trade-off for this exclusivity is the total loss of on-demand playability. These massive games do not run continuously. They are restricted to fixed, scheduled days and times. For high-stakes players who refuse to be scheduled, Monkeys Police serves as the wild, independent alternative. The operational outcome in Monkeys Police is instant access to massive, unstructured pots and aggressive action available on demand. The trade-off is extreme volatility. Chips fly light in this lobby, demanding a significantly deeper bankroll to survive the inevitable swings. This volatility exists because Monkeys Police operates without a union affiliation. Remaining independent cuts off the mainstream grinder traffic, isolating the player pool to a mix of aggressive regulars and gamblers driving up the variance. Chasing high stakes forces an unavoidable choice: submit to a rigid calendar for structured aims, or face brutal, on-demand variants. The final and most complex profile is the niche specialist. The specialist completely ignores raw table volume. Their priority is tracking down specific formats like OFC, Pusoi, heads-up matches, or MTTs. OFC stands for Open-Face Chinese Poker, a variant where players arrange cards into 3 separate hands. MTTs are multi-table tournaments with large scheduled player fields. Following the niche specialist path on our decision tree brings us to Monkeys Titanic, the ultimate jack-of-all-trades lobby. The outcome of joining Titanic is an incredible tournament schedule running alongside rare formats like Zoom, OFC, and Pusoi under one roof. The inherent trade-off is diluted liquidity. Because the player base is split across so many niche formats, consequently, you will endure long wait times for specific tables to fill up outside of absolute peak hours. Alternatively, there are ultra-specific, single-focus ecosystems like Panda and Monkeys Mammoth. Panda offers top-tier no-limit traffic sourced directly from Korea. Meanwhile, Monkeys Mammoth provides specialized European-based heads-up action. The severe trade-off for these regional hubs is absolute zero flexibility. If you want to play outside their specific game type or local time zone, the lobbies turn into literal dead zones. Niche specialization guarantees you will find your exact preferred game, but it exacts a heavy toll by completely destroying your schedule flexibility. This matrix is your roadmap. Multi-tablers, prioritize Monkeys Massiv for volume, or VIPs for USA traffic. Avoid high-roller lobbies. High-stakes players, choose Monkeys Police for variants, or HR for scheduled games. Avoid T5S unions. Specialists, target Titanic for OS City, or Panda for no limit. Ignoring the avoid if constraints is dangerous. Playing in the wrong ecosystem slowly drains your win rate through unnecessary rake and excessive wait times. You have to resist the temptation to consolidate your bankroll into a single poorly fitting app just for the sake of convenience. Instead, aggressively move your funds to the specific platform that amplifies your personal strengths. In the modern poker ecosystem, your money is dead if it is sitting in a lobby that doesn't support your edge. Choose your battlefield as carefully as your starting hands.
Start a live chat now to join one of our clubs or ask us any questions. Message at bluffingmonkeys24_7 on Telegram or visit bluffingmonkeys.com and start a live chat.